Okay, here we go. Primitive Substance Series 2. Very special guests from Germany. We got Max here and Fabian from the Lind Project, right? Did I pronounce it?
Yes.
And we're going to talk about Popol Vuh, your music that you're doing from their records and their music and some of the live things you're doing. So nice to have you on, guys.
Thanks
Thanks for
for
the
having us.
invitation.
It's an honor.
So we'd like to
Yeah.
hear. I'd like to hear about how you got involved with this and why you're doing this music.
Max, go ahead, please.
Is it
Okay. Yeah, so we are the Lindau Project, or better, we are two musicians
There you
of
go.
the Lindau Project. In total, we are 6 people, and
okay?
we are based in Regensburg in southern Germany. We got together this year in February because we wanted to play the music of Florian Fricke and Popol Vuh live.
Right.
And and it took some time to find the musicians who like to participate in it. And I was quite glad to meet Fabian again. We have already played music for 10 years or so,
Wow.
but meanwhile, we didn't play for too long. And
Yes.
it was so great to team up with him again because he's such a lovely drummer. Yeah,
Okay.
and that's how the band
That's-
came about.
Oh, how about that? And what kind of music you were playing before this? Was it other cover music like this, or was it? Well,
You mean Max and I, we together?
right.
So Max and I, we go way back, like Max said, like about 10 years, I guess, 10, 12 years or so. And he originally, I saw like an ad on Facebook back in the day when people still used to use Facebook,
Right.
and you were looking for musicians, and in this ad you were name checking stuff like Fairport Convention, I remember, and it's just sort of like this weird folky stuff from the 60s and 70s, and I thought, oh well, he was living close by to me back then, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm just gonna hit him up because that's like very unique.
Right.
And So I did that, and we sort of like then I had a band where our guitar player left, and that was like a weird hip hop meets rock crew, but we were quite good. I know it sounds strange now I'm talking
Right.
about it, but we were quite good, I think. And so yeah, all over the place, really. Like you're doing, Max, you're doing some amazing stuff. I did some stuff as well. Like I did some indie stuff. I did some like very weird hardcore proc hardcore. I don't know what you
Okay.
some like cardiacs or something. So all over the place. Like we basically do the music that we love, which is not always the most mainstream thing, I guess. Yeah.
Have you guys heard of like Henry Cow and Chris Cutler and Recommended Records? They
Yeah.
have a lot of weird stuff with Fred Frith.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, Fred Frith is amazing. He was playing in Munich recently in my hometown, but
How about that?
I couldn't go. I missed him, unfortunately. Yeah.
Now there's a label. There's a label in the U.S. too, Cuneiform Records. They put out records, distributor. I spoke with Paul Sears from the Muffins. I don't know if you've heard of that
Yeah.
group. That was really. They've done a lot of weird kind of stuff.
Do you know this website? I don't know if it's a website, but it's definitely on Facebook and YouTube. The Make Weird Music guys.
No, I don't know that.
They're amazing. Like I think one of them is a guitar player, and he's trying, I think once a year, to play Fracture by King Crimson.
Oh,
on
okay.
guitar.
Wow.
I think he's always failing, but he's doing it with such a verve. It's just they're all lovely people, and
You got
they're
to
all.
send me that link. I got to see that.
I
That's
will.
great.
I will.
So, are you guys going to do more live shows with this? Are you going to do a record with this music?
So yeah, at the moment, as we told before, we are on a little band holiday,
Okay.
and One of us is currently in the USA, in San Francisco. Marco is traveling around.
Right.
And we want to get back by end of September. And we want to do a little side project and record 2 songs that we wrote ourselves.
Oh,
just
great.
like a little single. And we want to see how playing Popol Vuh influences the arrangements that we do on that. And in October, we want to get back to rehearsing, and maybe we get a set of about 1.5 or 2 hours that we can finally play whole shows, because maybe that's a little interesting note. Why are we called the Lindau Project? Lindau is a city at the Lake Constance in southern Germany. It was the city where Florian Fricke was born.
Okay.
And we thought that next year we would like to find some locations to play there, because he isn't really remembered at all in Lindau. And we thought, wow, it's such a good composer, and maybe he would be happy to see that his music is played again in the place where he grew up. So that's our next step. And it would be great to play in a church, because we had 2 or 3 gigs in churches, I think, and I think the music could work out very well in this setting.
I think he was a unique artist. He went from like electronic music, and then it kind of got into like world music sounds, organic type of music. So he had quite a career, and the soundtracks too were really, that's what really got me into him, was the soundtracks he did for movies.
Same with me, yeah.
It was very, very spatial and a lot of unique sounds.
Absolutely. And that's a completely different challenge to find sort of like the equivalent of doing that in a live show. So that's kind of hard still for us. We're still finding our way and arranging all the songs in a way that they work live, which is tricky from
sure it is.
Like Popol Vuh never really did an awful lot live. I don't know if they did. I think they did some shows like in Italy or something. But they rarely played any shows, and that was also the idea to like bring that music back to life in a live setting, if you will.
I think I saw a few clips of them live on YouTube, and I think he had a Mellotron also that he was playing. That was very unique, and the lead singer was really very animated. It was really a good group. He had a lot of animation to his playing.
Yeah, I think he was the only guy in Germany who could afford a moog back in the day. So he was playing with everyone who needed a moog. So guys like Klaus Schulze,
how about that?
Those people, they all called Florian Fricke because he had like the big moog, which would cost like thousands and millions of dollars, I think.
Wow.
Please correct me if I'm wrong there, Max. You're a bigger nerd on Florian Fricke, I guess.
Well, I think it was very, very expensive, and I don't know how he could afford it back in the day. I think he was a music journalist at this time, because he stopped playing classical piano, and then he was a music journalist. And I just believe that he got all the royalties out of the articles and ate nothing for a year. And
how about that?
From all the money, he bought the Moog synthesizer. That's just my fantasy here.
He certainly looked like he wouldn't eat for a year, and from time to time, yeah.
Oh, it's so great that you're bringing his music alive, because some of these artists are just forgotten. And I think that was the golden period of like this progressive music from Sgt. Pepper up to, there's like a 10-year span of like just some amazing music, and especially in Germany and England. You had so many great bands doing just unique music.
It's so weird that you mentioned. Sorry, it's so weird that you mentioned it's not weird. It's funny that you mentioned the German bands, because I've recently heard a podcast and they were also talking about, I think, albums that came out 1972, I think.
Right.
And they were quickly coming to the conclusion that the music in Germany was always like so different from the British stuff. Not the British stuff, but certainly some of like the more folky inspired British stuff, because they didn't have those same set of influences.
Right.
They had like Stockhausen and all those.
Right. I mentioned that.
Maybe because of the war as well, because Germany was so divided and so
Right.
far off from everything else. So they had like a new set of, not a new, but a different set of musical influences. And I think that shows definitely in Cannes and in Popol Vuh certainly as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
and
sorry,
I also think, sorry
for cutting you off there, Max.
That's all right. But I think
continue.
A lot of people don't
Have
know
a little
these groups.
latency, I think.
So So now you're going to record some of this music and your original music. So that's going to be really good. Are you shopping around for a label, or are you going to put it out yourself? It's very hard these days.
We don't know yet, to be honest.
I think the first recordings we'll do on our own and just publish them ourselves.
Okay, that's a good way to do it. And put it on Bandcamp and some other digital sites.
But if anyone's watching, so people like, I don't know, if Trevor Horn's watching, or some great,
I don't know,
this podcast right here, just get in touch and we'll be happy to have like a big name producer who's
I'd love to pass your name around, guys. You never know. You never know who's watching.
Yes.
Because I have a lot of listeners now, and they might see and say, "Oh, I want to see what this is about."
Yeah, hopefully.
That's what it's all about, and that's why I'm doing this show, to have artists like yourself who are doing this type of unique music. And you're keeping his name alive, and that's important.
Thank you.
It's hard, like a Tim Blake. Not a lot of people know Tim Blake out there, and he was one of my favorite artists back in the 80s.
Yeah. Fish Rising by Steve Hillage.
That's a great record.
Yeah.
See, I was able to find out about all this music. We had a record store where I lived that had all these German English records for really cheap. Mm-hmm. I guess they called it cutouts, where they cut a piece of the record, and they were selling them for like $2. Can Records, Von de Graaff Generator, Peter Ham, all this stuff. So I got such an education in all this kind of music from this store.
Mm-hmm.
So it might have
been, do you still have all those records with you?
Yeah, I still have them.
Oh wow, they're so expensive nowadays. So
I know, it's ridiculous. I mean, I was at a store recently, $35 for a new record.
Yeah, but also
US.
like the old records, like the old Popol Vuh pressings here in Germany, at least, they're ridiculously priced. I saw one for 120 euros, which I think would be like about $100. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're ridiculously priced. So you probably have like a fortune.
A few of them.
Records.
Yeah, well, I saved them. Some of the good ones I saved. Not a lot of them, but enough to have it still play them. Because those new records are valuable, especially now they're all out of print. I don't think, did they ever reissue any records?
Yeah, recently.
Oh, they did. Okay, great.
It was a reissue series with bonus tracks too, but they are also already quite expensive. I think $50 for the reissue. Yeah.
But you can listen to them on YouTube, right? Some of it.
Yeah.
Sorry?
You could hear it on YouTube probably for free.
Yes.
Some of the songs.
Yeah.
That would influence you guys. So that's great. I think you guys are doing a great job with this. I don't know anything else you want to talk about before we uh, stop the interview? Oh, please mention your website. You have a website or where they could get a hold of you guys for shows?
Well,
in
we
Germany?
have an Instagram page.
Oh, good.
Um,
Okay.
and that's the most websitey thing that we currently
Okay.
have. And on Facebook, it's also
Right.
it's also a profile, but a proper website we do not have at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, send it to me and I'll put it in the description for you
But
guys.
we have like an email address as well, which
Okay.
is pretty public. So we're usually, well, we're not that quick to respond, but we take notice and we eventually get back to you.
Oh, great.
If you want to give us
Well, I'll
feedback.
try to pass the
And
word around about your band and what you
that,
guys are
that's
doing for sure.
that's
And
amazing. Yeah, if you, we would love to come over to the US. I've been to the US the first time last year, and I really loved it. Oh, yeah, so we would love to play there, but that might take a little while.
I'm sure
Yeah,
not cheap. So it's expensive to come here. I think what a happening place now, Brooklyn has a lot of clubs in New York. That seems to be where a lot of action has happened with bands and music. So that's once you come over, maybe you get a couple shows there, or maybe up the East Coast somewhere. You
we
never
would
know.
love to. We would love
Yeah.
to. Are you based in New York, Dennis?
Yes, I'm based in New Jersey, central New Jersey. So I'm
Okay.
about an hour from New York. Well, usually there's traffic, so sometimes it takes 2 hours. So I have some friends in New York that I see play, and I play with a couple friends here in New Jersey. We call ourselves Primitive Substance, and
Yes.
we have a lot of fun playing. And I don't know, we're going to do maybe some more shows this fall. We'll see.
Yeah, I saw some clips on YouTube.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
keeping that going, and this has really been a fun thing to do. I just started this in March, so I'm talking to a lot of unique people, getting a lot of great stories, and learning a lot.
Yeah, cool.
That's great.
Yeah, so pass the word around, have some subscribers get on, and hopefully we'll maybe see you guys again sometime.
We would love to.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so this ends this. So guys, Max, Fabian, have a great day and keep the
You
music
too.
going.
Thanks
Take
for
care,
having us,
guys.
Dennis. That's
Thanks,
it's an
Dennis.
honor.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.